My name is Oduba, and I am the founder and CEO of WellnessWits. My company was actually at the point of shutting down when I learned about MassChallenge. It was during the pandemic, and I no longer had the opportunity to see people in person. And my startup was about group visits for doctors who have large patient volumes. And so I had applied to jobs thinking I was no longer going to continue my entrepreneurial journey and just go find a job. And then I got a notification about a position to be a judge for, I think, the MassChallenge Health Tech track. And so I looked further into it and figured out, like, they actually help startups. I'm a startup. I probably should apply into one of their programs. And so I applied to the IBM AI Innovation Program, and I got accepted, the very first time I applied to an Accelerator. And so MassChallenge gave my company hope to stay alive. And today, through that program, actually, IBM has taken us on as an actual partner and in building, AI into our platform, and we co-build and co-sell together. So MassChallenge pretty much not only saved my business, helped it grow and scale and become, a more solid company that others would want to, be a part of. WellnessWits is a digital health platform for shared medical appointments. So think of us like the Facebook of healthcare, but without the data security and privacy issues. So we help doctors who have large patient volumes connect with their patients rather than from 15-minute short appointments to 60 to 90 minutes shared group appointments. That way they can do more with their patients, but less work. And at the same time, the patients feel like they spent more time with their doctors, they've learned more, and they've, able to connect with each other as a peer-to-peer group. And then on top of that, they get to access resources that has to do with their social determinants of health. Talk about nutrition, lifestyle, even mental health, emotional health, spirituality. So we're kind of, an ecosystem around people who have chronic diseases so that they're not isolated or feel like their doctors are not there with them when they need them. The people whom I got connected to were folks that I would almost never come across on my day-to-day, encounters, in business. And so having such a huge network of people, mentors, investors, partners who are invested, in the success of startups was the biggest, component of being part of a, MassChallenge program. And then aside from that, it would be the tech resources that, we were given to jumpstart our, build and growth of, maybe platforms or even our technology. So those are the main things that I think were great, additions to being part of the MassChallenge program. So by the end of the Accelerator, I had hired on a development team. And so I went from just me to about 6 people within 3 months. Yes. So I didn't have the overhead of paying for cloud services, CRM, and all of those things. So I could put, a little bit of money into hiring and outsourcing, development work outside of, my business. So that was one of the good things I achieved within the 3-month program. We were part of the MITRE Social Innovation Program. And one key thing we got out of that was the validation of our technology. MITRE stood by us and helped us tease out all the little bits and pieces of what needs to go into our platform and help us validate it. And also the regulatory aspect of it, we could beat our chest and say, hey, insurance pays for our services and for our solution. And a lot of market research went into it. We leveraged some of the scientists at MITRE to get that done. And then on the other side with IBM, after the 3-month program, they stayed on with us even more than a year just to keep us, in the mentorship relationship. And that was how we actually got the eventual partnership with them. So the partners of MassChallenge, they've invested beyond just being in a program. They kind of stick with you for the long run and continue to monitor and track your growth and make sure that all the time they've put into you becomes something they can really showcase and say we're proud of this company and what they've achieved. So since we've been part of the MassChallenge program, we actually during the program started a pilot And we got a contract with that pilot, with a gastroenterology practice. And then also afterwards, we secured another contract with another local practice, in Houston, where we're from. And then lastly, we got, a contract outside of the state of Texas in Mississippi with a nonprofit, connected with a health system that opens us up to, hundreds of thousands of people who have chronic diseases. Right now, as for fundraising, we've just gotten commitments for about $500,000 in funding, and we're pushing towards 2.5 million raised for our seed round. And so we've pretty much grown in the sense that we have customers, we have partners, like I mentioned, IBM has become a channel partner with us, and also having investors, VCs backing us up. So those are great milestones that we've been able to achieve, and we're looking forward to even more growth over the next 12 months to 18 months.